guys, we are back. It's game day 2 of game week 10, and the fantasy salary cap edition continues. As you can see right there, we had a slew of games, a gazillion games going, and boy, with my captainship would have worked wonders on this game day. It was even the perfect day to captain Nikola Jokic, which clearly we shall look at shortly in a few minutes from now. So right there, I was above average, which was good, 190. The average was 184, and of course the maximum points were 413, as you can see right there. The point contributors were, of course, Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks, gave me 62 points in that one. Nikola Jokic gave me 76 fantasy points in that one. Danny Avdia gave me 53 points with the Portland Trail Blazers. Ken Knopo 26, Kate Cunningham 73. There was a point in time when I had Giuseppe in, but I got scared and wanted to play it safe after the incident. Well, it so happens that I made a mistake. I should have stayed stuck with Giuseppe, who scored 45 points. And I knew it because Lakers without Luka, Reeves, and DeAndre Ayton is no Lakers. Period. We shall look into that. We shall see more as we go ahead. Then also Rawlings gave me 44 points, but I didn't get any of them because they were on my bench, so I clearly got that one wrong. So let's jump into the games. We had 14 games on the night, so this is going to be a really long video, so bear with me. We are going to try to divest all of the information and try to finish up as quick as possible. All right guys, let's jump into the first game of. All right, so the first game of course was Washington Wizards taking on Charlotte Hornets, and Ball and Miller actually combined for 43 points, as you can see in this very game. Amazing stuff. LaMelo Ball had 23 points, 49 fantasy points accumulated, nearly double, 9 assists to go along with them as they beat Washington Wizards. Brandon Miller dropping 20 points in this game, 38 fantasy points. Ken Knopo 19 points, 26 fantasy points in this game. On the other side, Chris Middleton coming back in the limelight after having some quiet games and off nights. He's been away actually also for an extended period of time. 16 points in this one, 22 fantasy points on the other side. McCallum CJ, Mr. Inconsistent, 14 points right there, 31 fantasy points in this game. The other person I want to look at before we jump into the highlights is Christian Judge. Wow. Look at him. 2 points, 2 rebounds, and wow, 6 assists in 31 minutes. Wow. I have no words for this. Let's get into the highlights. Wow. Alright guys, I do not have highlights of that game. Yeah, sorry about that. I thought I had the video, but I don't. Alright, so let's move on to the next game. The next game of course was Brooklyn Nets taking on Philly, and Joel Embiid came back, but he wasn't enough for them to manage to beat Michael Porter Jr.'s onslaught and company. Managed to drop 28 points for Michael Porter Jr. In the Brooklyn Nets camp. So the game ended 114 to 106. Philly losing that one to Brooklyn Nets. As you can see, Michael Porter Jr., I remember telling you guys, yeah, he is worth it. His usage rate is high and he's actually delivering at a consistently high rate, 40 points per game average. His average, which is really, really good as an asset on your squad. He dropped 28 in this one, 41 points in there. Then Damien Igor doing his thing as well, an emergent player that we can actually consider. 6.4 million salary to get him onto your squad. 20 points in this game, 32 fantasy points right there. Then on the other side, Joel Embiid also returned, managed to score 27. He led the way for Philadelphia 76ers, 47 fantasy points. Then Paul George as well got 19 points, 45 fantasy points. Tyrese Maxey had a quiet game in this one, and clearly you can see just had 13 points, 32 fantasy points in that one. VJ Edgecombe nowhere to be seen. He's missing in action in this one. More on that shortly. So let's get into the highlights.
His 10th 35-point performance of the season. Down to Embiid, it goes, and up and in it goes for Joel Embiid.
Now Joel Embiid of course returned and he was playing, but in this very game, thanks to Michael Porter Jr. scoring 28 points, Igor Damian also adding 20 points, the Brooklyn Nets managed to beat Philadelphia 76ers 114 to 106 on Tuesday night in that game. Then of course Philly's Joel Embiid scored 27 points. He led the way for Philly. But right there earlier on in the third quarter, he got a knock. He banged his knees. You will see the highlights here, and he went off for a few minutes, but then came back. There was a scare basically to that one, but he's fine. Hopefully he has come in time to just help the Philadelphia 76ers continue on what they were doing without him. Then Paul George 19 points in this one. Tyrese Maxey was held to just 13 points on 3 of 14 shooting. Andrew Drummond finished 12 points and 13 rebounds in this game.
This is Sharp who picked up that foul on Embiid. Porter Jr. able to sneak between a couple of defenders after George fell down. Michael Porter Jr. 14 already in this first quarter.
Yeah, Porter active in part of the game. The fourth quarter, you're logging all 12 minutes. Says something about where you are anaerobically.
Yeah, that's Wolf. Doesn't get it to go, but Sharp there for the tap in. 25. And we will traverse a lot of the country over the next week. So,
frequent miles.
So hoping to have Kelly and Trendon back at some point on that trip, as Sharp has the offensive rebound and the putback for Brooklyn. George has 6. Embiid leading the Sixers with 10. Eric Gordon for 3. First of this first quarter from the commissioner.
Great find from Kyle Lowry, too.
The wild part to me, every time we say Andre Drummond, I've felt this way for years. Because he came in the league so early, he always felt like he was a lot older than that. That's still very young for what he's done.
George wanted a foul call, didn't get it out.
We're near the arena and hungry.
Oh my goodness, when am I not?
Can confirm. Alda took care of his Chick-fil-A very quickly as Claxton taps it in. But
a lot of denying Maxey the basketball, making life difficult for him.
Porter Jr. on him now. Tyrese no. Drummond, another offensive rebound and put back. What a third quarter it's been for that guy, Andre with 9 rebounds, 8 of them offensive.
5 of them were on his own miss.
Dioman, the high arcing 3. Extended it in this third quarter. And Sixers not helping themselves. 5 turnovers already in the frame. Zion Williams.
Can he keep his feet and slide with you?
Eric Gordon from the corner. That's kind of a summation of the night too. When George can't hit that baseline fadeaway that he's so good at. And when a 19-year-old is doing that on the other end.
That would be Hal Greer. My favorite 76er would be Dr. J. And then everyone's favorite is Allen Iverson. Are those three up there?
Let's see. Edwards can't connect, but then able to get it and put it up and in.
I got
Around 4 minutes to play.
turning on a switch. It's very difficult to do. Go from being bad to being good.
Edwards almost had the steal. Almost had the save. And again, everything going Brooklyn's way tonight.
Yeah, extending the offensive exchange, making the Sixers have to defend longer, and then the ultimate dagger at the end, the knockdown jumper.
Maxey downhill, up and in. Not giving up yet. Jordy Fernandez, I mean, we know about it with Team Canada. Paul George connecting from the corner. Not done yet. 19 tonight for PG. 27 for MB, just 13 for Maxey again. No Edgecombe, no Grimes, no Barlow. Gordiomen and a big fourth quarter against us, 8 points. And the rookie Gordiomen with 18. Jared McCain on the baseline. 12 for Brooklyn.
It's unfortunate.
VJ and Quentin and Dominic all down with the illness that knocked down Tyrese and knocked down Joel Embiid. Jared McCain for 3. The Sixers and Nets going to go to the visitors.
Yes, right there. As you can see, everything kept falling for the Brooklyn Nets in the fourth, and of course they managed to stave off the onslaught over Philadelphia 76ers as they tried to come back. And of course, like we said earlier on, VJ Edgecombe was missing in action, and I'm forgetting the second guy's name, the shooter, Quentin Grimes. Yes, that's him. Quentin Grimes. They are both ill and out, so they were missing in action in this game. And unfortunate for Philly, they ended up losing that one 114 to 106, losing to Brooklyn Nets. All right, so the next game, of course, was Chicago Bulls taking on ATL, Atlanta Hawks. Remember, Trae Young came back, and they are in full swing and operational mode. Of course, they are just still missing Porzingis, Kristaps, but other than that, they are good to go. So they lost this one. It was a close one. I can only say that the Bulls rallied and came back from a 10-point deficit. Together, the contribution of Kobe White and Josh Giddey pushed the team to ensure that they saved this win. So you can see right there, Kobe White had 41 fantasy points in this game, dropping 24 in the game. Then Vucevic, the big man, long-range shooter, 21 points and 10 rebounds. That's a double-double, 42 fantasy points, as you can see right there. Then Josh Giddey himself as well doing his thing, had a triple-double. Wow, more on that as the highlights roll. 19 points in the game, 11 rebounds and 15 assists, 60 fantasy points for Josh Giddey. On the other side, Jalen Johnson continues to be amazing this season. Just 1 rebound shy of a triple-double in this game, scoring 24 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists in the game, 62 fantasy points. Trae Young on his return, not his return, well, his second game since his return, 22 points dropped in this game, 15 assists, 59 fantasy points. Okay, so let's jump into those highlights.
And right away, Nickeil Alexander-Walker goes to the mid-range.
Super hot in that first game.
All right, so in this game, of course, Josh Giddey had 19 points, 15 assists, and 11 rebounds. Kobe White hit a tiebreaker free throw with just 1.9 seconds left on the clock. You will see that in the highlights as we get to the first quarter highlights shortly in the game. The Chicago Bulls rallied for their 4th straight victory. Of course, the game ended 126 to 123 over Atlanta Hawks on Tuesday night. White finished 24 points for the Bulls, who trailed by 18 points in the second quarter, by 15 late in the third, and then 10 with less than 6 minutes left. So they really had to rally against ATL to pull this game out of the bag. Josh Giddey had a triple-double, and it was his 7th of this season. He's only he's a player that has the second most triple doubles in the league this season, only behind to none other than MVP Nikola Jokic, who has 14, which is actually twice. So he's the top most triple double player is Nikola Jokic. He has 14. And the one that comes in second place has 7. So Nikola Jokic is leading the way by 2 times more than the second place player, who is Josh Giddey, who managed to get his 7th in this game. Vucevic also contributed, scoring 21 points and 10 rebounds for the Bulls, so that they move 3-0 against the Hawks this season. The season series of Bulls and Hawks, Bulls have managed to beat Hawks in the other 2 occasions, including this one that gives them 3-0, meaning they have won the Bulls in 3 times this season, as you will see shortly here. Then, of course, Jalen Johnson continues to be an asset for Atlanta. He dropped 24 points, 10 assists, and 9 rebounds for the Hawks, who have lost 4 straight. Trae Young contributed 22 on his return as well, 15 assists as well. Then Dyson Daniels actually missed the game for the first time in this game. He wasn't in action. He has a right hip inflammation that kept him out of this game for the first time. This man has been playing ever since, and he just doesn't stop. But of course, the left hip inflammation has kept him out, so he missed out in this game for the Atlanta Hawks. He did not feature. All right, more in the highlights.
And Josh Giddey is an excellent rebounder at that point guard position.
Same spot, same result. Great coach. Won over 500 games in college and may do it in the NBA. That's never been done before.
And like you said, he's an excellent coach.
Jalen Johnson.
Be smart now, because you got a couple fouls on you. You don't want, to kind of poke the bear.
Collins rolls it in. Pick and roll with Collins. Dosunmu. White, jump shot. Bangs in a 3. That's the 4th 3 tonight for Kobe White, 4 of 9 from downtown. Okongwu.
Again.
10-point ball game. Asa Newell, no hesitation. Trae trying to get downhill. Instead gives to Asa Newell. Man, good to have Malik. He's played great. Hawks signed him right before training camp.
That trash can right now, you can't seem to get anything going.
Well, the Hawks stuck at 105. Giddey up and in, and the Hawks will take a timeout. Here's Dosunmu again, kicking it back. Vooch at the end of the clock hits. One-legged jumper from the top. 105 to 100 Atlanta. Hawks need a bucket in the worst way here. Haven't scored yet in the period. Veet stops that streak.
I think that'll change.
Veet comes around the screen, handles, gives to Jalen. Vooch defending. And nicely off the window.
He earned that. He had to...
Backdoor cutting. Buzelis winds up and throws one down. Josh driving. Kobe White hits the 14-footer. Giddey. Vucevic to the cutting Herter, fakes and lays it in. Timeout Atlanta. Josh Giddey gets to the rack, followed in by Tre Jones. Giddey.
Clock is running down. Chicago going to have to get a shot there.
Kobe White cuts it to 1. Giddey takes Trey right into the paint and rolls it in for a 3-point lead. Backdoor cut. Trey gets a lay-in. There's your quick score.
That's all you need.
Hawks do not have a timeout. In it comes to Nickeil. 5, 4. Nickeil drives in and ties it with 1. Out for Vucevic. Pulls by 3. Jalen looking. Gets it into Nickeil. He's going to heave it. And
that was an impossible shot with just 1 second on the clock. It was never gonna make it. They needed a 3, but unfortunately they ran out of time, and of course the Bulls rallied in the 4th and came back from a 10-point deficit to win that game, thanks to Kobe White and Josh Giddey's contribution. So that's how that one ended. Chicago Bulls 126 to Atlanta Hawks 126. Now the next game, of course, after this was New Orleans Pelicans taking on Cleveland Cavaliers. I was rooting for New Orleans Pelicans, but boy oh boy, Cavaliers came back roaring to another win. Of course, Pelicans were also on a roll. They had been winning a couple of games. I think they were on a 4-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 3. I'm forgetting right there. And of course, Zion Williams and Derek Quinn leading the way for the team. And indeed, they did also in this one, dropping 26 Zion Williams in this one, accumulating 36 fantasy points. Derek Quinn dropped 21 points in this one, 41 fantasy points in this game. Then Trey Murphy the third doing his thing, 14 points as well. Then on the other side, Donovan Mitchell, 27 points, 42 fantasy points. Sam Millie as well, dropping 22 points, 45 fantasy points. Those are the main players that led the way. Let's roll those highlights.
Murphy collects. Hill finds the deep bay. Back to Murphy, who has unlimited range. And he did a good job, though, getting back in transition and trying to build out quickly. I like going at the front of the rim all night long.
All right, so Donovan Mitchell scored 27 points in this game. Sam Millie added 22 for the Cleveland Cavaliers as they pulled away in the second half for a 141-118 victory over New Orleans Pelicans on Tuesday night. 9 of the 11 players used by the Cleveland Cavaliers scored in double figures as they won consecutive games for the first time since November 21st in 2020. 21st to 2020 to 23rd. Cleveland Cavaliers evened its December record of 5-5. Then, of course, 21 points victory. This was a major victory gap between 118 to 141. It was a 23-point victory, and of course this was Cavaliers' second biggest margin this season. They are prone. They normally do that. They blow out teams like crazy. So this was a 23-point blowout by the Cavs against New Orleans Pelicans. It was the 5th time in the NBA this season. And the second time in 3 days a team has had 9 players score in double figures. Wow, it was a scoring spree in this game. Yeah. Then of course Cleveland scored at least 139 points for the second straight night and 8 times this season. They can go off and they go crazy when they go off. But also it's like a double-edged sword with them. Sometimes they are on and then they ended, and then the other times they are badly off. Because remember, prior to this game and the game before, they were on a losing streak of around 4 games. That's Cleveland Cavaliers. But now they are back to their winning ways and they are doing their thing right there. Then, of course, like I told you earlier on, the New Orleans Pelicans were on a 5-game winning streak, so it got snapped in this one. Zion Williams and Derek Quinn, who scored 26 and 21 respectively, were not able to stop them on the night. So yeah, New Orleans Pelicans winning streak was snapped. I think it was even an equaling franchise winning streak, as you can see right there. All right, let's now focus on the highlight.
Most difficult time because people adjust to you and they see you play, they got tape and film on you, and so he's made a tremendous impact. Oh my goodness, loving it. He's getting better, he's getting healthy, better and better. He's starting to shoot the ball better. Good defender. Love it.
Proctor off the weight into Allen. Terrific pass
by the Cavaliers. Good opportunity as well. Love the aggression there. The Cavs are playing some good basketball. Finally starting to find that rhythm.
Macy puts it up
on your no man's land. He keeps it alive so the defenders just don't know where he's going.
He's in his 7th season already as cutting to the basket was that long reach. Looks ahead. He'll feed Wade. Wade throws on the brakes. Now it's Merrill. Merrill unloads. Hey, and cans it.
It has been just absolutely a relief for this basketball team. So now you got some building blocks that are really fundamentally sound. Wow, what a move.
Inside Trey Murphy. He's just so physical. Is Donovan. He gets a half step and you're sunk as up and in and goes Spears. Ago out of Cal. Porter inside to Tyson, and Tyson. Zions trying to keep this Pelican team relatively close. That's only his 2nd miss of the evening. Bryant leading the break. Oh, Macy thumps it off. 33-point triple-double in the 3-point loss to the Spurs 2 weeks ago. Here's Hunter. Hunter has to float it high into the air.
Just being physical down there. Activity by TB. Nice job.
Another mid-range jumper by Fourth and puts it in.
By Thomas Bryant, just being physical down there. Activity by TB, nice job. Touch on that basketball. You're exactly right. He makes tough shots with so routine.
Queens. Oh my! The Cavaliers have been celebrating the holidays as of late. They now have scored 30 or more points in 7 consecutive quarters. Mitchell got it. Oh my! Donovan Mitchell get there. Back it goes to Hawkins. Queen and a 3 in the 3rd quarter. This time he'll drive. The Cavs wanted to travel. Alvarado nails a 3. Garland's watched by Hawkins. Now Allen. Oh my!
By the Cavaliers.
Proctor can't get it to go. You mentioned the health. Sam Merrill is back. The Cavs are hoping 71.
Hanging out with Santa.
Hanging out with Santa 2 days from Christmas. Naquan Tomlin.
Great job.
A workmanlike effort here tonight.
I walk in as $1 million move. Chain on chill, but the attitude. Whole club.
All right, so that's how that one ended. It was a blowout, and of course the New Orleans Pelicans could not stave off the onslaught coming from, of course, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They managed to beat them with 23 points in that game. It ended 118 to 141. Now, of course, after that came the Milwaukee Bucks game taking on Indiana Pacers, and the Milwaukee Bucks are back to winning ways. They were the team that I was saying they should not get used to losing, and then they actually did get used to losing, but they got to play against another team that is struggling, so they ended up with winning yet another game in this one. So a look at the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers. It ended 111 to 94. Milwaukee Bucks winning that one. Kevin Porter Jr. continuing to be influential in this one. He has had a string of very, very amazing contributions. So if you can get him into your squad, just 8.6 million, you can get his services and actually benefit from his contribution, which is amazing. Nothing short of amazing. 24 points in this one, 49 fantasy points for Kevin Porter Jr. Rollins also coming back to form after having some slow games, a series of slow games. 23 points in this one, 44 fantasy points for Rollins Ryan. Then Makano TJ doing his thing, the other side dropping 16 points and 30 Siakam Pascal is also consistently doing his thing. 15, just 1 rebound shy of a double-double, 9 rebounds, 31 fantasy points. Then Nimhad Andrew doing his thing as well, 14, 32 fantasy points. Let's get into the highlights.
For a variety of reasons. 2 of the best cutters that the Pacers have are Neesmith and Shepard. And they're both not on the floor. So Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah, so Kevin Porter Jr. continues to be amazing for the Milwaukee Bucks this season. He dropped 24 points. Ryan Rollins had 23. And the Milwaukee Bucks playing their 7th consecutive game without the injured Giannis Antetokounmpo. They managed to beat the Indiana Pacers 111-94 on Tuesday night. Kyle Kuzma scored 15 points. Bobby Portis had 14 points and a team high 9 rebounds in as Bucks shot 51% to snap a 3-game losing streak. So they were starting to get used to losing, which is no good. They had accumulated 3 games as a winning streak. That is, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks. They managed to snap it on the night, beating Indiana Pacers in this one. And of course, former Pacer center Miles Turner, remember the 3-point shooter, long-range big man who got booed every time he touched the ball in this game, finished with 10 points and 3 blocked shots in this game. Yes, then of course TJ McConnell led Pacers on the other side. He dropped his 6th consecutive who dropped their 6th consecutive game with 16 points off the bench. McConnell had missed Monday's loss at Boston with a knee soreness. Pascal Siakam continues to be the consistent bright light for Indiana Pacers, of course, in the absence of their main man, Halliburton, who has a torn Achilles injury he's nursing. Pascal Siakam managed to get 15 points and a team high 9 rebounds for the Pacers. Nimhad as well, another shining star in this team, scored 14. And then of course Benedict Mathurin had 13 for Indiana Pacers. Their shooting was 41% in this game. So yeah, more on the highlights.
And Gary Harris hits the 3. And a Pacers timeout. And all of a sudden, it's an 11-point lead.
I saw Ty not before the game, but before practice, working on his game. And he's got a ways to go. But the thing that was interesting, and
now to Turner, catch and shoot 3, and Miles got it. He had missed his first 4 from 3-point.
Pacers were ready to take that corner, and they switched it between Siakam's going to have to miss it.
Huff the catch, Huff the basket. Tonight's game 30 for the Pacers. Catch and shoot Harris, no good. Turner there for the rebound, lays it in.
He was able to stay with it. You play until there's a whistle.
Rollins head down and got it.
Oh, I can see he's able to.
19 for Rollins and a Pacers.
So we'll see how Bradley performs here, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of days prior to the game against Boston.
Well, it could decide his professional career, because actually tried to twirl it with his right hand and ended up knocking it under the basket.
Walker trying to get on track. He does. Jarris hits a 3. Will both start the 4th quarter together. Rollins drives on McConnell, got to the basket, put it in. 21. McConnell out behind the 3-point arc. Pascal Siakam.
He's going right into where the trap's going to be.
And finds McConnell.
Oh, really good, because they ended up with a switch.
Kuzma turns the corner, and he kicked it right to Nembhard, who throws it ahead. And the Pacers get it. Murphy got it and scores.
Those are the kind of effort plays you're going to.
That has 7 of 9 from the field in his 21 minutes. Mathurin drives. Siakam, catch and shoot 3. First of the night for Siakam.
Got a good angle.
And Porter Jr. may have just put the game in jeopardy for the Pacers. My dad was...
Is this pink?
I don't use red because you can't see the red very well, so I end up using pink for... Here's Cam Jones hits a three. And we'll have to wait another night for Rick Carlisle's 1,000th win. Karl-Anthony hits a three.
And that's whose place Rollins is really, because I know Doc Rivers really likes him.
Terrence Walker misses, and that's going to do it. A 111-94 win for the Milwaukee Bucks. They snap a 3-game losing streak. More importantly for them, an 8-game road.
All right, the Milwaukee Bucks right there snapped a 3-game losing streak right there as they managed to beat Indiana Pacers 111-94. All right, so the next game was, of course, Toronto Raptors taking on Miami Heat, and Scottie Barnes was amazing in this game, scoring 27 points in this game and accumulating a total of 43 fantasy points, as you can see right there. Emmanuel Quickley, 18 points for the Toronto Raptors, scoring 43 fantasy points right. Mamu Keleshvili as well, Sandro, doing his thing, scoring 14 points, 37 fantasy points. Jaquez Jr. doing his thing as well for the Miami Heat, but the Miami Heat have been struggling. They are currently, this is their 9th loss in a span of 11 games, which is terrible, really. 21 points in this game, 30 fantasy points. Norman Powell continues to do his fair share, 17 points, 41 fantasy points. Let's roll those highlights.
Former star at Kansas, part of an outstanding team that went to a Final Four and won a championship for the Jayhawks.
Now in this game, Scottie Barnes drops 27 points as Raptors East Pass Wheeling hits 112-191 points. It's Miami's 9th loss in an 11-game span. They are struggling, doing badly. Scottie Barnes, of course, dropped 27 points and grabbed 8 rebounds. And the Toronto Raptors beat the reeling Miami Heat on Tuesday night in the final pre-Christmas game for both games. Emmanuel Quickley scored 18 points for the Raptors, who got their 18th win in their 31st game of the season. They need 57 games. Sorry, they needed 57 games last season to get to the 18-win mark. And of course, they were over 500, of course, which gave them the opportunity to get into the playoffs. Yeah. So Mamu Keleshvili scored 14. Brandon Ingram finished with 12 for the Toronto Raptors, which again played without RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is still recovering from the sprained right knee that he struggled with. Now, last season, of course, RJ Barrett is Anubed, who pushed the Toronto Raptors. He was the main man, while for the longest period of time, Scottie Barnes wasn't around. Now, this time around, it's the other way around. He's actually away struggling with that sprained right knee. Then on the other side, of course, Jaquez Jr. dropped 21 points. So let's get back into the highlights as we proceed.
Yeah. Good hustle by Bam. Nice pass for Drew Smith.
Yeah, really good cut there. Drew Smith getting to the basket, but it's Bam who makes the hustle play with the pass.
Oh, a slam dunk. Mamu's feeling. Told you the man can shoot threes. That's his second one tonight. Well, he's got 6 points. Toronto leads by 5. Khalil. Why not? The Kaboom Man.
Points and assists. He is playing extremely well.
The 28 points the other night, a career high. Barnes on the turn. He got fouled by Jaquez and Brandon Ingram. Earned it by Wiggins. Those two have been going at it all night. That's good defense. Better shot making for Ingram, who now has 7 points for them. Marquez is running out of room. Andrew Wiggins, kaboom! MAVERICKS loads up, and the left-hander knocks in his 3rd triple of the game.
Really good at mucking up the game, jamming up that paint. Really athletic and physical inside.
They allow the 5th fewest points per game in the NBA as Barnes rolls in the hook. Jumped in front tonight, 16-3 before the Heat mounted around. Wiggins, a wing 3. Yeah. Shed for 3. Jamal Shed, both his 3s here in this quarter. That puts Toronto ahead by 15.
Well, you referenced the offensive rebound. 16-6 advantage in second chance points right now.
That's what haunted the Heat early in the season. A turnover here and a Barnes layup. You heard me correctly, by the way. The Heat 1-11 this year in games where they go into the 4th quarter trailing. Quickly lobbing, Barnes finishing. This is quickly. Found his way,
didn't even dunk it. He literally 2-hand threw it down.
Marquez lays it in.
A lot about
2:10 left in this one as Norman uses his power steering to get into the lane and to the basket. That's disappointing anytime you play at home and come up with a loss. It just is. Shed with the score.
It's his ability to also recognize when he's double teamed to set up his teammates. He obviously can score at the rim. He's got a little fadeaway jumper game and mid-range pull-up on the initial catch. He'll work and he'll improve on that, but he was wide open initially.
All right, so Miami Heat lost that one. They are indeed struggling, and as you could see, they were 1, I think, in 11 of all the games that they play, and are trailing in the 4th. They have only won 1 out of the 12 games that they have played, and they were trailing in the 4th. And remember, this game really, the NBA, everything just takes shape in the 4th. Most games are actually decided in the 4th. So if you're losing most of your games that you're trailing in the 4th, it means you're going to struggle generally, because the NBA, most of the games are decided in the 4th. So that's how that one ended, 112, and then Miami's 91 points. All right, now one of the best games of the season comes next. That's, of course, MVP Nikola Jokic taking on Rookie of the Year contender Cooper Flag. Anthony Davis helping out on the other side, whereas Mola Jamal helping out on the other side. Now, this was a close game decided by just a single point. And guess who dazzled? It was none other than Cooper Flag, who had 31 points in this game. The young man scoring 39 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. Just 1 rebound and 1 assist shy of a triple-double. 66 fantasy points. Now, I always told you guys, and I'll keep on telling you guys, AD is a very good player. Hands down, he's very good. Even that bubble championship was down to AD's. It was actually AD. The LA Lakers were for AD on that day, during that season. Actually, the entire time they were there, AD was the main man at LA Lakers. And without him, they would not have won that bubble title. And like I keep telling you guys, he's someone I do believe you can build your team around, as long as he is fit. The problem is that he always gets injured. That's the only problem with him. But if he's fit and he's playing, he will score. He will score highly. So he dropped 31 points in this one, nearly double-double, 9 rebounds and 4 assists, 57 fantasy points in that game. Then on the other side, Jamal Murray putting off on play all-star numbers this season, and his consistency is good. So there is talk that he could be considered as an all-star this season, as the voting, of course, kicked off, I think, a while back. 31 points in this game, 7 rebounds and 14 assists, double 69 fantasy points. Then of course the main man MVP Nikola Jokic, the Joker, scoring 29 points in this game, 7 rebounds, 14 assists. That's a double as well, 76. Let's get into the highlights of this one.
Inside, broke down, denied by James to Ryan Nembhard. The rookie out of Gonzaga was playing the point at the feet inside. Broke down, denied by Jaden Hardy, who got a start here tonight.
Now, this game, Cooper Flagg had 33 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. And of course, his sidekick, I want to say, because I do believe this is actually going to be Cooper Flagg's team. His sidekick, Anthony Davis, had 31 points and 9 rebounds as Dallas Mavericks beat Denver Nuggets 131-130 on Tuesday night. It was a thriller, just one of those games I do believe will go down as the game of the season this season. Cooper Flagg's career high fourth three-pointer gave Dallas 126-121 lead with just 3 minutes left on the clock. This is how close it was. Then of course a look at the other side. Okay, actually this win gives Mavericks actually snapped the 2-game loss that they had started, losing streak that they had started. And of course alright, just a look on the other side. Jamal Murray had 31 points and 14 assists. Nikola Jokic had 29 points and 14 assists for the Denver Nuggets, who had an 11-game road winning streak snapped. Remember, they were doing so well on the road, and after this game, it snaps the 11-game winning streak that they had. Nikola, the MVP leader, averaging 12.1 rebounds, had 7 to match his season low. Actually, in this game, he only had 7 in this game. So you could clearly see that Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis were not going to let their team win. But of course, the Joker did put in his shift as the MVP, and of course, it was evident. It's just that they did not get the results that they deserved. All right, let's get into the highlight.
And the Nuggets. Clock running down. Nembhard for 3.
As well, than most role player guys do. I didn't do it because I was asked to score as a role player, but
Nembhard coming baseline. Flagg remains out there. Clock at 6. He'll launch. He's got another.
Can set their defense or make their defense work. Good steal right there by Jones.
Collapsed on Gafford. Jones pushed it. 2 mats go down, and gotten off to a great start to this year.
I think he's going to change. The best player to never make an All-Star this year. He is playing early and often.
Bull tries to take advantage. Davis shut it off from the top, and Strother off on the 3. Right to Jokic. Team through that first half. Jokic from the top controls the pace of what he does. I thought that was the most enlightening thing Jason Kidd told us before the game. Najee Marshall. Any crossover, Jamal gets immediate right to talk.
Oh, I get excited.
No matter whose mic is open. AD for 3. Nembhard is back. She got a big on a small here. 2 come. 3 for 3 is Johnson. Tie game.
On the cutter and still made a on-the-money pass for 3.
Marshall off from the corner. Flag with the rebound and the finish.
Is that
in this quarter? Sees parted for Johnson. He draws it. Strother knocks down the 3. Game. They were just so off the mark and out of rhythm offensively.
And that's what's changed. Having Valanciunas, nice pull up right there by Nembhard.
30 points here. denied, and Johnson grabs his knee. Uh-oh, Cam Johnson goes down, grabs his knee. Shot is good.
He has the mismatch most times. He's strong down there. He's making stuff happen.
Flagg picked it to the corner off of this by 21 in this game. Murray, no rhythm to that shot. Valanciunas tip, no. Brown working inside.
That second unit.
Got Flagg for the moment, sends him to the help. Davis going away. The season, 35 and 17 in New Orleans, 25 and 8 boards tonight. Murray, kind of.
He got into the lane and bumped and got to balance.
Flagg lets Davis go to work. 2 in a row.
Higher than he wanted to. Threw off the trajectory of his shot.
Marshall no. Murray on the push. Brown ahead. Nice finish. Start off. Brown the rebound. Nuggets a chance to take the lead. Murray going right to the office to the Joker. Timeout.
Before I did the first Christmas Day game, I was playing against Wilson Chandler, and he said, "You're going to do that tomorrow against us?" I said, "Oops, I forgot you were following me on Twitter." Right there.
Goes up and gets big. Mavs by 1. Murray, all in the grill of Davis. Doesn't matter. He's playing terrific. You know, we talk Jokic and Murray and Flagg, and understandably so. Pitch to the corner. This is a Brown triple. He's got them all. So free throws will be a part of the mix here at the end. Flagg lobs Davis. No effort.
For the greats, take over and figure out what's needed.
Davis sees 2. Flagg at the top. Late clock 3. Got them all.
That was Cooper Flagg's fourth career high three-pointer that I do believe was the dagger that really hurt the Denver Nuggets in this game. So more in the highlight.
But they look forward to the opportunity.
Closing time at the end of a back-to-back. Murray inside with the reverse. Flagg works around Murray. Gets inside, works it in for 2 more. 30.
Looking for tight situations and in late game situations.
Murray, beautiful pocket pass. Jokic. Flagg for to shoot, makes the right pass. Marshall, a 3.
And make the right pass. Switch right there by the Mavs. Let's see how Denver handles it.
Marshall down, Murray knocked it down. 10 to shoot. Don't need 3.
Jokic, Murray, pick and roll, late game play.
Tied up, Jokic rolls. 1-point game. Not hurried at all. Screen with Davis. Flagg tries to turn the corner. He's got Jokic. He comes left. Pitch to Nembhard. Late clock, gotta go. Nembhard, no. Murray maximizes the time. Here we go. Jamal Murray with Jokic. Bounces it to Jokic. Basket down the pitch. It is Watson for 3. No! And the Mavericks win!
I walk in as a man.
That was so close. I would not have made that pass because it was just a 1-point game. You didn't need a 3. I don't know why MVP made that dish. Toss it up there, then fight for the rebound, get a foul or something. Man. You know, okay. Anyway, this is just me. This is just my personal opinion. I really had hoped that they win this because of what happens later on in the games. Wow, it was just a perfect day for the Denver Nuggets to win a game. Come on. So it hurt. It really hurt. Nicola should have just gone up for that basket. We needed just a simple basket. Get a foul or something. I know they never give you fouls. The referees are never on your side. But boy, oh boy, it was a terrible time to lose. But it was a good game nonetheless. Cooper Flagg, I'm happy for Cooper Flagg. I'm also happy for Davis. They are doing wonders in the Dallas Mavericks shirts. Now that they are playing together and getting to know very how they play together, and the team is trying to synchronize and and Jail together build that chemistry so that they are able to go the whole mile. All right, so that's how that one ended, 130-131, and right. Okay, so the next game was New York Knicks taking on Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns returns, and boy, oh boy, did he go off in this game. But it wasn't enough, because you know who? Edwards was on the other side, and he wasn't going to let them lose this game. He also had 38 points in this game. Karl-Anthony Towns dropped 40 points in this game, and a double-double, 13 rebounds, 58 fantasy points. Edwards on the other side had 23, and of course a total of 59 fantasy points. I think he was given a rest. Their point guard in Jalen Brunson was given a rest, because I don't think he's injured. I think it must be a rest, but more on that later. So let's jump into the highlights of this one as well.
That is a tough shot. Burgess says
it's been cold shooting in the first half that has caused a few of these losses here at home.
that is a tough shot. Burgess has both field goals for the Knicks thus far.
All right, so there's a rivalry here, because remember, Karl-Anthony Towns came from Timberwolves, Minnesota Timberwolves. There was a trade that I think that had, is it Julius Randle go the other side? Yes, Julius Randle went to the other side, and Karl-Anthony Towns ended up on the opposite side. Now, it so happens that ever since Karl-Anthony Towns left Timberwolves had never beaten them. Ever. It had never beaten Towns. So this was the first game where Timberwolves beat Towns for the first time, as Edwards scores 38 points in the 115-104 win over Knicks for the first time. Wow, that's an amazing feat for Karl-Anthony Towns. Of course, Anthony Edwards was the orchestrator behind this win, scoring 38 points to help Minnesota Timberwolves beat former teammate Karl-Anthony Towns for the first time and hold off the New York Knicks 115-104 on Tuesday night. Julius Randle had 17 of his 25 points in the fourth quarter. Rudy Gobert contributed 11 points, 6 rebounds, and his reliable fierce rim protection for the Wolves. So the Wolves currently are 20-10, which is not good, but the potential is there now that they are good. They have won 10 of 12, so which is a very, very good feat for them. Then Karl-Anthony Towns scored a season high 40 points before fouling out in the final minute of the Knicks game. Wow. So, of course, like I told you earlier on, also the fellow All-Star player, Jalen Brunson, was rested. His previously injured ankle. Remember, he's struggling with that ankle. I think everybody in the game has an injury, like some sort of injury. But this was more on the side of just resting him, considering the number of games they have played. Remember, they are the defending champions of the Emirates NBA Cup after they beat Wembenyama. More on him later on, and I will explain why I felt so sad that the Denver Nuggets lost their game in the earlier highlights that we showed. All right, let's concentrate now on the highlights. Thank you.
The offensive glass. He gave, he gave a little shove. No, I'm still laughing about that one. Straight on three. Edwards got it.
Oh, it was fun to see all of the players that have been down playing in the G League here now.
Edwards go here in this third quarter. Kolick over to Clarkson. Quick trigger and delivers. Out of dribbling. Gave it up to Hart. Poke away by Edwards. Edwards got it back. Edwards with the flush. Now we'll retreat, set up Kolick. Kolick penetrating.
Out to Diarra, and Diarra. 3 seconds. Jalen Clark. Happy holidays!
People don't even know exactly where to line up.
Here's Clark. Outside, Reed relocates.
It's one of his superpowers. He doesn't have many, but that's one of them. Wow.
Oh, late whistle. Game, a little over 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Bridges, it's a 5-point game.
He's been gangbusters here in the fourth quarter. Again.
Kolek again. Matched up with Edwards, fires a 3, and Kolek on a little 5. Grabbed by DiVincenzo. Randall downhill. Count it, and put him on the line. Edwards brings it up off the hard miss. Randall has the last 11 for the Wolves. Blocked inside, got it back. He has the Lakers on a personal 15-6 run.
Yeah.
Poke away. Edwards the steal. Edwards the hammer.
In this game, he's got 37.
He's playing with 5 fouls. Toss out, DiVincenzo, 3-ball, corner. Towns with the answer. Clarkson. Man, that was a lot of contact there. Hart got the offensive board. Going at Gobert. No. Try it again. Yes.
Love it. Love seeing Rocco back on the bench, too, by the way. He's been playing great in the G League.
Knicks on a little run, and Hart adds to it. It's
their efforts, and Julius has to go back to work.
Nice move on Robinson. Pump fake. Fading away, and it drops. Guys have been stepping up. Conley, baseline drive, extra pass. Edwards to the rack. Conley, bottom right of your screen. Timberwolves have won 10 of their last 12.
Now, of course, Karl-Anthony Towns' 40 points were not enough to ensure that unbeaten record of him leaving Minnesota Timberwolves and going to the New York Knicks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves never having beaten them ever since he moved. Well, this time round, there's always a first time for everything. Anthony Edwards made sure of that. They beat Karl-Anthony Towns in this one. 104 to 115 was the final score of that. Now comes the game that made the Denver Nuggets loss even more painful. That was the Oklahoma City Thunder's game. Now, Oklahoma City Thunders has been beaten for the second time by the San Antonio Spurs this season. I am not shocked. The San Antonio Spurs are that good, and I do believe they can go ahead to really shock this team. I don't know if it will be a possibility for that final. That will depend on the Eastern Conference between San Antonio Spurs and also Kincaid. Kincaid, of course, there's also Boston Celtics, and then there's also Cleveland Cavaliers and the rest. So to end up with OKC. But clearly you can see San Antonio Spurs can beat the OKC and beat them properly, without a doubt. Not these close games, not that. So now I had hoped that the Denver Nuggets would get that win and inch closer towards OKC. But unfortunately, they didn't. They actually also lost to Cooper Flag. So it's a bittersweet moment for me right there. So OKC was beaten yet again by San Antonio Spurs. Victor Wembanyama and of course Johnson doing wonders right there. So OKC, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander dropped 33 points in this one, 8 assists and 3 rebounds to go along with that. 52 fantasy points right there. Jalen Williams as well doing his thing, dropping 17 points, 45 fantasy points in that one. Keldon Johnson, an unlikely source, dropping 25 points, 28 fantasy points. Stefan Castle, is there, 24 points in this one, 33 fantasy points. Victor Wembanyama, just to check his minutes in this game, they're actually trying to maintain him under 21 minutes per game. This one is just overshot it shortly. So 12 points in this one and 23 fantasy points. Now this win, of course, makes it 7 straight wins for the San Antonio Spurs. They are on a roll, and I think they are the ones that have the longest win streak at the moment in the NBA, an unbeaten win streak at the moment, because OKC just lost. Let me just maybe quick check at the tables and look at the streaks. I'm seeing Chicago has 4 wins in a row. Then when I go out, I think Chicago has the longest one in the Eastern Conference. Yes, because Kincaid is 3, Boston Celtics is 3. Chicago has the longest in the Eastern Conference. Yes, it has the longest win streak of 4 games in a row. Then in the West, it is, of course, San Antonio Spurs. This actually helped San Antonio Spurs surpass Denver Nuggets. Like I was telling, it was one of those bittersweet ones. 7, yes, indeed. Correct. San Antonio Spurs has the longest win streak of 7 games in a row. So let's get into those highlights.
Hartenstein taps it back out. Holmgren free this time underneath for the first bucket.
All right, so this game basically made it the 7th straight win for the San Antonio Spurs, as the Spurs beat Thunders for the 2nd time in 10 days, storming to a 130-110 victory behind Johnson and Castle. They were the main man that led this attack on OKC. Now, I want to use the word. That is a 20-point win victory. That is a blowout, guys. That is a blowout. It's not one of those games you will say they snuck away. It's not like the one that we saw earlier on of Denver Nuggets taking on Dallas Mavericks that was just decided by a single point. No, it was a blowout. 20 points. 20 points between 130 and 110. Those are 20 points right there. That's a blowout. So anyway, Calderon Johnson dropped 25 points. Stephon Castle added 24 points, and the San Antonio Spurs stormed past OKC 130-110 on Tuesday night, winning their 7th straight and beating the Thunders for the 2nd time in 10 days. Victor Wembanyama's streak of consecutive games with at least 1 block ended at 101 games, but the Spurs were just happy to have him on court after he was downgraded to questionable on Monday. Victor Wembanyama finished with just 12 points in this game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 33 points for OKC. Jalen Williams 17 points. Now San Antonio Spurs has won 14 of 17 to move into 2nd place in the West, as we saw earlier on in the analytical view that I showed you just a few seconds back. OKC has lost 3 of 5 games since opening the season. They are 24-1. The defending champions' 4th loss this season was by far their worst. That's what I'm saying, guys. It was a blowout. It was a blowout. It was a blowout. Anyway, let's watch more of the highlights on what transpired. But that was a blowout, guys. Something that we didn't expect. We thought OKC would go out of the races and just sweep this whole season. But anyway, it happens. Sometimes you have bad days at work. I guess this was one of those days for them.
Johnson, and Johnson is feeling it here in the first half. And he can take that 3. Decided not to do it there. Fox off the deck. And San Antonio's field goal percentage for the finger roll, no good. Outside it's Joe. Perfect spot for him, and he capitalizes with a three. Keeping Keldon Johnson off the glass.
That's what you have to do with offensive defensive rebounding, is go into the guy's body. Sure about that.
He caught it. You couldn't slow him down. The drive by Parker. Back outside. Castle. And you know things are going right for San Antonio. But once again, the shot clock now under 10. J-Dub. Deflection. Turnover. 2-on-1. Harper will lay it up and in transition.
An opportunity for the Thunder to cut back into that lead. And Shea does just that with a trifecta. Together some stops as well.
The Thunder can impose that defense, but there is a little more offense from SGA.
For the Thunder, just get stops.
There's a lob, and Cornette has been a non-factor. So the Thunder trying to play through the hill that's getting a little bit steeper here in the fourth quarter. Wembanyama, the step back three, and he knocks it down. GA, might have had it blocked by Champagny, able to pluck it back out of the air. J-Dub didn't want the three, instead drives in, floats, and scores on the scoop. Just when OKC needed some offense.
How about Shea? Just keep playing, even though that shot got tipped, to regain it.
Heavy pressure out on the perimeter. Castle on target with the three. Pass. Harper, the rookie, dumps it off, and Champagny gets the slam. Has gone dormant here in the fourth quarter. San Antonio's been able to take advantage. Spurs plus 10. And how about that play coming out of the timeout as they go above the rim. A nice pass to Hartenstein.
Nice little two-man game. Forcing Cornette, who was in drop-back coverage, to make a decision. Try to cover the drive or the lob. You saw the latter.
Thunder have not been able to get stops on that end, and they can't do it on that possession as Harper with just his second made basket of the game. SGA stops on a dime. He's got two more. 33 on the... Hartenstein trying to get up there on Cornette. Couldn't do it. Now he bounces off of a cell. Defense playing catch up, and there is another three by Stephon Castle. 24 points, 4 out of 5 from downtown. J-Dub on the other end, bouncing. You almost have to play perfectly here for the final 4 minutes if you want to give yourself a chance. Shea, back outside, Dort, and there's a start. To get that shot off, and he missed it. And so the Spurs have just been relentless on this end and continuing to pump in three-point shots. And that one might just do it.
Now, guys, that's the whole point. The onslaught has to continue. You don't let up until the final buzzer when you're playing OKC. You have to stay on and stay on and stay on like that. From Vassell, that was the dagger in the fourth that did them in. That's what's up.
Back-to-back in Minnesota. As Youngblood knocks out a three.
At home and taking down Oklahoma City 130 to 110.
Yep, and that's how it's done, guys. If you want to down a giant, you don't give up, you don't let down until the final buzzer. It's game on until the final buzzer. And of course, Danny Avdi and company have done it before. Now San Antonio Spurs has done it twice. So guys, you can borrow a page or two from those two books, San Antonio Spurs, and also what's the other team? Danny Avdia's Portland Trail Blazers. So the other team that I do believe is going to take them to the edge, of course, is MVP Nikola Jokic's, then also Houston Rockets. Those are the 4 teams that we should always look out for when OKC is playing. Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs, Houston Rockets, and wait, are they 4 or 3? Just mentioned 3. Yeah, they are 3. They are 3. All right, guys. So that's how that one ended, 110, 130. And this made it so painful that Denver Nuggets slid down after losing to Dallas Mavericks earlier on. Okay, anyway, you win some, you lose some. All right, so that concluded that game. Then came the other game that I wanted to talk about. What did I say? Guys, mark my words. I said the moment Luka and Reeves leave that team, the true colors, the fool's gold will come out. LeBron James, Lakers without Luka and Reeves are nothing. LeBron James is just a shell of what once he was, and he's just now collecting the trophies left, right, and center, and box padding, and he's nothing. He's nothing, and he never was. He's not the GOAT. He's not in second place. He's good, but he's not what he props himself up to be. So here is another sample. I told you guys, the moment Reeves and Luka go, you will see the true Lakers with LeBron. There it is. He lost that game, and it was a blowout. So that one ended, of course, 108 to 132. Phoenix Suns beating LA Lakers. That was led by LeBron James. LeBron James was the leader of this team. He scored 23 points, 37 fantasy points. That is it. Austin Reeves returned Bambi. He came back, but of course it was too soon, too late. You could clearly see he's just getting back to his usual self. Of course, 17 points is all he could manage, 23 fantasy points in that game. It is good, actually, that Reeves was just returning so that we are able to see a team that is led by LeBron James and how it performs. That is how it performs. DeAndre Ayton also managed to score 12 points in this game, a double-double, 11 rebounds, 33 points right there. On the other side, Dillon Brooks continues to be a revelation this season, I think this is his best season in career. I think so. I'm not very sure. His best career season. 25 points right there in this game. Then, of course, Devin Booker scoring 21 points and a double-double, 11 rebounds, 51 fantasy points. Amazing game right there. Let's get into the highlights of this one.
LeBron, corner, good passing. Laravia, three, got it! So their first triple of the night goes threes.
All right, so of course the LA Lakers lost this game. Now again, guys, I still maintain my stance that without Luka and Austin Reeves, the Lakers are nothing. Now, the Lakers, of course, are lucky that Reeves came back in this one. So I'm telling you guys, it would have been worse had Reeves also not been around in this game. It would have been a mauling. It would have been a mauling had Reeves not contributed the 17 points that he did in this game. So, of course, Dillon Brooks scored 25 points. Devin Booker, 21 points. And the Phoenix Suns pulled away in the second half to beat LA Lakers 132. Scrap that. To blow out LA Lakers 132 to 108 on Tuesday night. The Lakers were playing without five-time All-Star Luka Doncic, who is actually out with a lower leg contusion, still struggling. They did welcome back Austin Reeves, who had missed the past 3 games with a left calf strain, but clearly you could see he was downgraded. Had he been at his best, I dare to say they would have won this game. If Austin Reeves was half of who he was before the injury, they would have won this game. But of course, he was just trying to get his legs under him and get back to his usual self. So he only managed to score 17 points on 6 of 11 shooting off the bench, while LeBron James had led the Lakers with 23 points. But of course, LeBron James can't do anything. LA Lakers lost. They have lost 2 straight. But not to worry. Austin Reeves is here. You guys will get back to winning ways.
Defender on him and taking right to the paint. They are back after missing 3 straight. Iguodala
Less than a minute to go. Look out, there goes Gillespie. Out there, along with Dunn, and the throwdown by Iguodaro is one. Well, points in the paint last game. Lakers were a +6. Not so much tonight. We'll get to those three-point field goals too, as LeBron wanders in and scores, leaning, dribble. Does, confronts James. Gillespie swing it. Boy, Royce O'Neal, they're really moving it. That's a quick shot. Boy, Brooks never even brought it down.
He shot that one like as if there was like 1 second
I was thinking the
on
same
the shot
thing.
clock.
I had to check the clock to see if he was going up against it, and he wasn't. LeBron got it right back. Couple of days.
Look at this.
Underneath, Brooks, reverse layup is good. Boy, he's having too much fun.
Yeah, they turned their head.
Going to go to Brooks. No, they don't. So LeBron has it, leans in and scores. James, one of 4 Lakers in double figures. They take it out of the net, and they score and one. And they steal it. Lakers now with Thero. He might try to get to the rim right here. And he does. LaRavia cleans it up into quarters. Kleba kicks it. Marcus Smart rattles it in. We'll see. Getting a regular rest here at the end of the third. He might want to come back in. He's kind of a competitor, he is. Bouye.
PO trip for the Spurs. Let's say like they're on a 16-day road,
Well, it was
road game.
always split, right?
And they'd be home some of that.
And right at the buzzer, it's Austin Reeves. Crowd right now roar its approval. 9:40 to play. Corner, LaRavia. Got it. Jake struggling through a career low 3-point percentage so far this year, but again, we're not even at Christmas yet. Got a 5-game homestand starting in a couple of days.
I'm telling you.
Done with it, but I started it before he did. So he started it early.
Look at me. Should have been at like 9.
Here's the junior. And he scored.
Absolutely, yeah, it was much better to hear that word contusion, not that it feels good. That's certainly been it certainly seemed like Luke represents some pain in that game, but gives him the...
Well, they're just throwing him down with regularity, aren't they? Big 7-footer. Once again, boy, they've shot the ball well. He's a rookie, went undrafted. Mentioned it's his 3rd game. Nick, he's firing it up. The 2nd longest win streak currently in the NBA. The longest win streak belongs to the Spurs, and last word, they were handling OKC tonight. In fact, they wound up winning. So what is that? 2 wins against them and in the game. Either side, who's played at least 30 is Marcus Smart. He played 30 even. Smith Jr. once again. That's going to count the basket and a foul whilst they were jostling for position.
It's going to be a 4.
Done. Yeah, Magnon had it in the bounce. Big guy's got it. 12-5 on the road, 14-7 against the West.
All right, as you can see right there, the Lakers managed to lose that game. Of course, without Luka Doncic and the downgraded Austin Reeves, that is what is expected. That is no surprise at all. I am not shocked in any way. I actually thought it would be worse, but luckily, Austin Reeves returned and saved the day. It would have been a mauling had Austin Reeves not been around and they relied on LeBron James alone. Nothing would come of that. It would be just a freak show. That is it. Of course, LA Lakers lost that one 108 to 132. All right, so after that, of course, we had Memphis Grizzlies taking on Utah Jazz, and Santin Aldama was on fire in this game, accumulating 59 fantasy points and a total of 37 points in the game. Jalen Johnson Jr. doing his thing as well, 44 fantasy points, 21 points in the game. Landell, who has actually had a couple of good games under his belt, had 17 in this one, 33 fantasy points right there. On the other side, Filipowski is back. Kyle Filipowski had a very good season last season, but this season has been on and off and inconsistent. But he had one of his best games this season, 25 points in the game and a double-double, 13 rebounds, 52 fantasy points. Keontae George as well, consistently high. I have nothing against this man. 24 points, 37 fantasy points right there. So Ace Bailey, the rookie as well, had 17 points, 24 fantasy points in this game. So this one, of course, Memphis Grizzlies managed to beat Utah Jazz in this one, scoring 137 in this very game. So let me pull up the highlights real quick of this game as well.
Pretty much over after the first quarter. Just too big of a hill to climb for him.
Jump shot, 15-footer. He does a lot of damage right there.
Now, Santi Aldama had a very, very good game in this one. Santi Aldama made 7 3-pointers and scored a career high of 37 points to lead Memphis Grizzlies to a 137-128 victory over Utah Jazz on Tuesday night. Darren Johnson Jr. clipped 21 points, and of course Brock Landell 17 points as well. Then Cam Spencer dished out a career high 13 assists to go with 11 points, while Aldama added a season high 7 assists to help Grizzlies snap a 2-game losing streak right there. So those are the highlights, as you can see right there. It was not a close game per se, but Santi Aldama ensured that the Memphis Grizzlies get this win and start to snap their 2-game losing streak.
Turns the corner, into the paint he goes, rides it off the glass for 2, and he was not hesitant to take on Jocelyn.
You got to have stops, though, that ball.
Oh, it has to be.
Can't do trading.
Oh, there you go, Aldama. So he has owned the Jazz, plain and simple.
Close call.
Spencer drops a 3. He struggled most of the night. Cam Spencer. He does shoot 50% this season from downtown. Filipowski answers right back.
Beautiful 3. Beautiful answer, but now.
Flip inside, drives, turns, step back J. Tapped up, nicely done, Ace Bailey. For the rookie. Little runner by Cam Spencer. He came on strong T in the second half with 10. Will Hardy gives a little wave to the...
All right, that was an abridged version of highlights of that game, and that concluded the game. Memphis Grizzlies 137 to Utah Jazz's 128. All right, after that, of course, came the Orlando Magic's game taking on Portland Trail Blazers. Now, Orlando Magic, of course, managed to win that one thanks to Desmond Bane's contribution of 23 points in this game. Managed to get 55 fantasy points in this game. Then, of course, Anthony Black as well dropped 22 in the game, 7 rebounds and 6 assists, 47 fantasy points right there. On the other side, Danny Avdia tried to push his team to keep up, but it wasn't enough. 53 fantasy points, 25 points dropped in the game. Shaden Sharp as well, 22 dropped in this game, 35 points. Let's roll the highlights.
It doesn't seem like the effort and energy is where it needs to be. There, Danny Avdia falls down. Anthony Black drains a 3. And not these two teams. Not Detroit and this team.
All right, so of course Desmond Bain dropped 23 in this game. Anthony Black added 22, and the Orlando Magic turned away Portland Trail Blazers comeback attempt on Tuesday night for a 1-6 victory over 12 Blazers. After trailing by 17 in the third quarter, the Blazers took a 1-point lead early in the fourth before Tyus Jones answered with a three-pointer and Wendell Carter Jr. hit a jumper for the Magics. Hidden. So let's actually jump in the fourth quarter highlights of this one. The video is going on for too long, so I'm trying to upgrade most of these highlights. But Danny Avdia had a very, very good game. Tried to push the Portland Trail Blazers, but like I keep saying, guys, Portland Trail Blazers are the unluckiest team in the NBA as we speak. The games are close, they just don't have that extra punch, that extra push that helps them push and win these games. And actually that is why they lost that second game against OKC. OKC had gas in the tank to go an extra mile while Portland Trail Blazers was running out. So here is the fourth quarter with 8 minutes on the clock.
So three is good. Carter, a 15-minute game now. He goes in. The big man from France, step back jumper is up and in over Noah Penda. Love is on Banchero.
Caleb is competing, Kev. Caleb is sitting on the leg of Banchero.
He just denied, didn't he? Now they take it inside, and that's good recognition by the man. Swings over to Avdia. Denny in the corner, cycles it to Murray for three. Stands still, trouble. Jones in the paint, fades, fires, and flipped it up and in. He has given them a huge boost tonight. He'll hand off to Bane, who's gotten hot in the second half. Desmond Bane downhill into the lane, finger roll, up and in, and the Magic lead at 102-97.
Doesn't get called for anything, ticky-tack, solid.
Blazers down 5, Denny into the lane to the glass, a lot of contact, rolls it up and in. Love comes back, he's got a triple on his side. Caleb Love! Tamani Kamara got clipped on the screen by Bane. Now he rights himself and gets out on Banchero. Bane trying to get separation on a screen, does, and fires and hits. Bane with 21. Sharp loads up into the finger roll up and in. Then he looks at the clock, 6 to shoot. He avoids Jones, he steps by Black, he finds Klingon at the rim. He brought it back and had it ripped away from behind.
It's irritating because the future's bright.
Frustrated.
Yeah.
On the inbound, Sharp a 3. Nope, and that'll do it. Magic winning here.
What did I say? There we go again. Falling short that close. As I keep saying, Portland Trail Blazers are the unluckiest team in the NBA as we speak. Well, that one also ended just like that. 4-point gap. They ended up losing that one. Orlando Magic winning 110-106. All right, so after that, of course, came Kincaid taking on Sacramento Kings in that game. And of course, Kincaid, of course, Tobias Harris had the most, dropping 24 points for the Detroit Pistons, getting 36 points in that game. Then in this one, Kincaid dropped 23 and a double-double, 14 assists and 7 rebounds, 73 fantasy points in that one. Jalen Duran continue having an amazing season this season. 23 points and a double-double, 13 rebounds, 50 points in this game. Amin Thompson also had 19 points in this game, 29 fantasy points. DeMar DeRozan on the other side scoring 56 fantasy points, dropping 37 in the game and 8 assists to go along with it. Russell Westbrook also back to his usual self. He's actually averaging 40 per game. Good to see those points that he's scoring right there. In this one, he dropped 27 and 47 fantasy points for Russell Westbrook. So let's get into the abridged version of the highlights of this game.
LDHO to Murray. Achua inside in traffic. Got it.
And defensively, this is a team in Detroit that is going to give you everything that you can handle. And they're going to come at you on
Alright, so in this game, Cade Cunningham had 23 points and 14 assists. Durant dropped 23 points and 12 rebounds. And the Western Conference leading Detroit Pistons beat Sacramento Kings 136 to 127. Tobias Harris was the main man for the Pistons, who have won 9 of 11 games that they have played. So Durant's double-double was the 4th straight and 17th of the season. Asar Thompson had 19 points for Detroit, and Isaiah Stewart had 16 points off the bench. Then on the other side, DeMar DeRozan scored 37 points. Russell Westbrook had 27 for the Kings, who had lost 10 of 12. They were struggling. Russell Westbrook has had 4 assists to reach 1,140 of his career, 1 short of Magic for the 7th in NBA history. So he's almost actually surpassing Magic Johnson for the 7th spot in NBA history, with 1,140 for his career currently. So in the next game he will be surpassing that, no doubt about that. The Pistons, of course, yeah, I think let's get into the highlights.
Here he is out top. He's young. He's very young. Ivy inside. Picked up his dribble. Isaiah Stewart and 1 for the Pistons. LeVert kicks it out to Ivy. Had a notion on the reload. Got it to fall. He cashes out at just the right time.
With how many offensive weapons there are in that starting lineup for Sacramento.
Off the turnover, it's Cunningham. Takes it right at DeRozan and 1.
To really climb out of a 20-point deficit and still be able to have enough left in the tank.
Yeah, they guard you so well. Westbrook back out to Malik Monk for 3. Got it. Westbrook. They empty out the side for him. And the 3 is good.
Good night, Russell Westbrook.
Schroeder picks him up. Run some stack pick and roll with Duncan Robinson, and they peel Cunningham clean. 2-on-1. Schroeder with the lefty leg. Hits Westbrook from deep. Achua with the offensive rebound. Doesn't matter. DeMar DeRozan going federal tonight. And that'll pretty much do it. Pistons can kill clock here. Well, Scrooge came tonight, but Merry Christmas, folks. We'll catch you on the other side of Christmas as the Detroit.
All right, so Kincaid and company ensured that they get that one, 136 points in that game to 127. Detroit Pistons beating Sacramento Kings, and that's how that was concluded. Then came the final game of the day. That was Houston Rockets with a shocker loss to the Clippers in that game. This was actually a true shocker because LA Clippers are actually struggling, and but anyway, they shouldn't be struggling considering the roster that they have and the players that they have. But for some reason they were struggling, because with Kawhi and Harden, I mean, what is stopping you from winning games? So clearly they shouldn't be struggling. They should be actually contending for the top 5 spots of the Western Conference. But for some reason they were. So I really thought Houston Rockets would sweep them, but shockingly they managed to sweep Houston Rockets. Interesting. But of course it was thanks to vintage Kawhi, who dropped 41 points, as you can see right there in this game. 59 fantasy points in the game, 8 rebounds and 5 assists to go with the 41 points by Kawhi Leonard. Then James Harden as well did his fair share, 29 points in this game, 51 fantasy points right there. On the other side, KD continues to impress, 22 points, 35 fantasy points. Alperen Şengün had a double-double, 19 and 11 rebounds, 53 fantasy points. Amen Thompson had 19 and 9 on the other side, 44 fantasy points. Let me roll the highlights of this one as well. Just jumping into the highlights of the final game.
Those two, the all-stars, he and KD. Durant going to work, opening so far this season. Kawhi in the lane with the spin over a Kogi. Good shot. Both Brook Lopez. A little bit cold to start the game. 1 for 5. Durant trying to change.
Now Kawhi had scored 41 points and James Harden added 29 as Los Angeles Clippers beat Houston Rockets 128-108 on Tuesday night. LeBron I don't know why LeBron is in there. Kawhi Leonard shot 16. He was on a heater, on a banner. 16 of 23 from the field and 4 of 5 from long distance as Clippers won consecutive games for just the second time this season. Wow, that's how bad their season was. This is the second time they have won 2 straight games in a row. Interesting. LA Clippers comes off a 103-88 win over the Lakers on Saturday that snapped their 5-game skid. The Clippers also won consecutive games in October against Phoenix and Portland Trail Blazers. And of course, James Harden shot 7 of 14 from the field, that's 50%, and 3 of 8 from long distance as he helped by 12 or 13 shooting from the free throw line.
Wide open, offensive rebound again. Fresh 14, Thompson, changing direction to the left hand off the glass like that if you don't want to be. Rebound though, Eason high. Wonder when we do see Kevin Durant and Şengün caught him napping Kawhi. That's going to count on the goal free throw line. Oh, he just lost it. Thompson lost the handle. Pull up, Harden got it.
Or what? You still got to put the ball in the basket, and they've done that the last 2 times out.
Subs about to come in for the Rockets, but none named Şengün. For Ime Udoka. Take to the baseline, left hand, and good. Should have just remaining are on their feet to close it. Happen. It's officially, it ends with a bucket. and kind of a walk-off, but not the way you normally think of it. What a night for LA. Kawhi Leonard with 40.
That was a shocker indeed. It was a real shocker of a game. So that concludes the games and the highlights of the day. So let's move to the next segment. Now, of course, the next segment is the player of the night. So the player of the night in this game day 2 of game week 10 was none other than, in the backcourt was Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, as they were playing Sacramento Kings, they managed to win that. Detroit Pistons got 136 points, beating Sacramento Kings that got 127. Cade contributed 23 points, 7 rebounds, 14 assists, 5 steals, and 73 fantasy points, which brings his averages to 26.4 points per game a season, and of course 6.4 rebounds per game as well, and 9.4 assists per game right there. That was King Cade, as you can see right there. Then the main man, the highest scoring player of the night, was in the front court and none other than Nikola Jokic. In the loss that they had against Dallas that they really needed to win, it would have made it worth the loss of San Antonio Spurs beating OKC. It would have made it amazing, but they lost that one, unfortunately. Denver Nuggets 130 to Dallas Mavericks 131. Just 1 point in that game. And of course, Nikola Jokic had 39 points in this one, 7 rebounds, and 14 assists, 4 steals, and 73 fantasy points, which brings his season tally to 28.9 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, and 10.9 assists per game. Yep. So now we get the plans for game day 3. So what are we going to plan? Let's, I think, start with the games of game day 3 of game week 10. So game day 3 will kick off on Thursday. That's on Christmas night. We shall have Cleveland Cavaliers taking on New York Knicks. Yeah, then of course San Antonio. Wow! San Antonio Spurs will be taking on Oklahoma City Thunders. Now, let me set this up for you. Why am I saying wow? First of all, they just lost the second time this season. Now, OKC has a record. It has a home record that is running, a streak. I'm forgetting the exact streak that they have. How amazing would that be if San Antonio actually also broke that one? But I really doubt it's going to be really hard for San Antonio Spurs to beat OKC at home. But anyway, that's an interesting one we need to look out for. And of course, Dallas Mavericks will be taking on Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets, LA Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets. Those are the games that we have on Christmas Day. So guys, get those squads ready and poised for an amazing Christmas season. Merry Christmas to you guys that are there. So I will also say my Merry Christmas after this segment and before the video ends. I know next time we shall meet, it will be after Christmas. So game day 3, let's see the players that I will have. Of course, Nikola Jokic will be playing, and unfortunately, I also have AJ Mitchell. Just 2 players for Christmas. That's how. But anyway, it's a long run. It's a marathon, so not that I planned badly. I actually looked at the fixtures of the players that I had, and they had the most fixtures in this. So yeah, I am only fielding Nikola Jokic and AJ Mitchell for Christmas Day. So that brings us to the end of this video, guys. Merry Christmas to all of you. Enjoy your Christmas holidays. Remember, the reason for the season is, of course, none other than the Lord Jesus Christ, born in a manger, incarnated into a human being so that he can die for us. And of course, ultimate salvation comes to mankind so that we can escape the curse of death that we attained from our father Adam and Eve from the fall. So the Lord came to fight for us, and of course, through Jesus Christ, we attain salvation and eternal life. Do not forget that, guys. That is the whole point of life and living. Without that, life is not worth living. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know down in the comment section below. Peace out.